It's time for another Power Play show with Coach FRENCHY, Andrew Lepage, ENORTAP, and Michael DeVillano. It's time, Power Play show. Hey, welcome back everybody for another special edition of the Power Play show tonight. The house is full because we have Mr. Michael DeVillano directly from my neighbor tonight. Couple of miles from me is directly from South Florida on the Collins Avenue. Michael, welcome in the show. And directly from Ottawa, Mr. Marco Larrabee, back in the house for the second time. And thanks to both of you to be with the show tonight. Tonight we talk about create some new rules in the NHL, how maybe agree, disagree, what kind of rule you would like to get. For example, more team in the playoff or less team in the playoff, change the division, or maybe some fun penalties, video call or no call, the crease, or no crease, longer the ice, shorter the white, who knows? Michael had maybe some idea, and Marco also, but we're going to talk about this all night tonight. We talk about the couple of news around the league, NHL, and a little bit talking, Marco, Mike, about a little bit what's going on with the WHL, the Canadian Hockey League, and unfortunately, very bad news today in hockey. Michkov, really bad injury, knee, ACL, possible at least for 2 or 3 months out after he got hit inside the knee from Alexei Emelin. Happened today, so really bad news for that. Just a really bad, remind a lot of, like Kirby Dak. Remember, like it was nothing there, and it was just caught, and just the knee go inside the knee of Emelin. So it was really bad. It was not, Emelin was not trying to hit him. That's the bad thing. He just Mikov caught from the left to the right and hit the inside leg. So I don't know, Michael, if you saw the video or not, or Michael?
I haven't seen the video yet, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the video. No. Sorry, did you say that Emelin hit him?
Yeah, I was going to say, this case
he's still active?
Alexei Emelin.
Did he hit him with his metal head or with his body?
I know he just crossed the Emelin's coming down from, I would say, like from the right to the, he's coming down that way, and Michkov's coming that way. He tried to cut from the inside, but he hit the inside leg of Emelin.
Yeah, I saw the hit, but I didn't realize it was Emelin. I thought I know he won the championship with Bob Hartley, but I didn't know he was still active even. Yeah.
Hey, he was very sick.
I hope that guy doesn't.
Month ago, like last year, Michael Emelin was like he almost died on the bench, or he had like something happened to him.
Yeah. I just wonder if that guy can even walk by.
I don't know, it was the blood or something, and then he come back after that. But it was a critical situation for him, for his life at some point. And he had to miss the rest of the playoff. I think it was on the playoff 2 years ago.
Yeah. He was a cheerleader for that Bob Hartley KHL championship. But I've always wondered if that guy can even walk by a microwave, right? Because he has the metal plate in his head there. But
exactly.
Was that another injury?
Who?
Or car accident?
No, I think it was just like a cardiovascular thing. Yeah.
It was not like a hit or something, like really something happened. It was just like
a cardiac event on the bench. That's right.
So that's happening to him. But before we start about the rules, everything like that, we're going to welcome everybody in the chat, and then we'll go move on. Any question you have tonight, don't forget to put the letter Q. Tomorrow night, Park the Monkey for the Florida Panthers is going to be in the house tomorrow night at 9 o'clock p.m. We are back Saturday night. It's a Let's Talk Abs with Marco and ENORTAP. So that's what we have on the program for the next couple of days for sure. Mr. Alan Barnes is in the house tonight. From Vegas, good night. Bobby Bagadonats, welcome back in the house, Bobby. Bobby is back after a couple of days, 1 day maybe. I don't know. Bobby is back in the house. Insider with all the update around the league. RJ Calabro, New Jersey. A bit south of Marco, Mr. Peter August back in the house tonight. Peter, welcome back. We talk about Bug the Monkey. Bug the Monkey back in the house. Salut coach, comment ça va? Bug the Monkey learned the French at school. Great to see that. Hit the likes. And we are deal or no deal. Depend which one you want to go with. The Real Deal Prim is in the house tonight. I believe he's from New Brunswick, but I could be wrong, but I believe he's from the New Brunswick. We are ready to rock and roll. I love your music. All up. Welcome. Oh, Mr. ENORTAP is in the house tonight as Fred in the chat. Welcome back, Mr. ENORTAP. Take a day off tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. Luciano Graziano back in the house tonight. Run with Kings 20 from Utah. Welcome back in the house. Mean Girl Hockey from Manitoba, Winnipeg. Back in the house tonight. From UK. Welcome back, Mr. Cruz the Ghoul. Welcome back. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning over there. Glad to see you. From la belle province de Québec, number one fan of Buffalo Sabre, Alexandre Dubois is in the house tonight. Vegas, Adam Berger, welcome back in the house. I don't know, Michael, you saw that, but I'm pretty sure Marco said that, the declaration of the match specialty about Vegas. And
very laid back.
Yeah, it did not.
Get your car washed. Get your car washed and get your organic foods.
It was not very nice about that one over there. Did you know Huberdeau, Gaudreau, and McDavid all scored 94 points in the game that they won? In that game that they won. That's cool to see that run with Kings. Miss Kelly back in the house tonight.
Okay.
Which I know is feel great, really. About Illinois, Blackhawks fan 97 is in the house tonight.
Blackhawks.
Rick Penn, welcome. I think Rick is the second time back in the house. Rick, welcome back. Adam is back. We have to go all the way. Du respect me bien de that, but I'm près de faire. I would like fan. Awesome, Rick. We love every team. Everybody have its fun team about this one over there. So that's great to see that. Yeah, also speak some French. Oh, well, that's awesome. Micro loves Sharks is in the house tonight. Patrick Marleau. Retard, Micro. The background and the tab, everybody said that. Everything like that. So we go all the way that done. One deal. Let's move on about this one over there. First of all, Michael, what's going on with the WHL and the Canadian Hockey League Junior?
Well, we're going to play. So we're all heading to camp on, we have pre-camp meetings on August 31st, and then September 1 to 4th is training camp. So I think most teams are holding smaller camps this year, plus the World Juniors going on. So that's going to be interesting. And especially like our coach is there, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens if people are. I don't know, but it's gonna be a lot of hockey for guys. Like I don't know how this is gonna work this year, but we're pretty excited. We have a lot of good young players that are coming in. It's a little bit. Well, I don't know. We got some good players coming back too, so I think there's some guys that are coming back that surprised me. So I think we're pretty optimistic. Seattle's definitely improved. That's gonna be interesting. Edmonton's probably the opposite of that. They shot their bullet. So,
both of you, do you have a chance watching the Linka Gretzky Cup so far, or?
Yeah, it's
Sweden 9-1 or something.
Yeah, like it's I understand why the Russians player couldn't be there, but it just really takes away a level of competition, that a tournament like that needs. I'm hoping for a bit more of a competitive game tonight. And I think we were talking about it last night in the chat there, Coach. Like, Jaeger is blowing me away in this tournament. So, curious to see, because this is ground zero for the rankings, right, for next year's draft. So, curious. I think he's really doing himself a lot of favors with how he's playing in this tournament so far.
And then Benson, I think, has played extremely well. So I think you're going to see those guys like next year, no matter what. I mean, Michkov, I think, will drop just because of the uncertainty over the Russians, but also because you're going to see all of these guys competing that are very, very capable. Like, you know, if I was going back and I was watching Fantilli in the USHL, and I'm like, okay, wait, now this guy's he's you know, he's already too good for the USHL, like, which maybe isn't saying much. The other guy should be in the OHL, like.
Do you know, Michael, about the 2006 just signed contract today with the Boston University?
Who? Sorry, who?
KC, I cannot remember his last name. I just see the tweet today. Just signed as a 2006. So it's like, we talk about 3 years, right? 2 years.
Wow.
And he just signed today. He got his scholarship by the Boston College.
Which player was that?
He played with the Chicago Steel. He was wearing a Chicago Steel jersey today. It was like 3 players from Chicago Steel together.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because they have kind of more of a pipeline to Michigan than anything, but I guess it doesn't surprise me. Like, they're heavily involved with the world's greatest agent.
And I say we won't start right away, but it will be
well, to
when you be ready to get there, it will be there for sure. So, so that would be interesting about that one over there. We see now, like you said, Weiger and Benson is really great for Team Canada over there. Tevoski with Slovakia, it was okay. I think the team is not really great. That's maybe one reason over there. They have a guy over there for Slovakia, number 26, I believe. He played on the power play yesterday. I cannot remember his last name. It was pretty solid for them. But USA was disappointed for me as a team. They never found their groove to join the, you know, to be with other countries. Sweden pretty solid. Couple of good players over there for sure. And then Michael start in 5-6 days the U20 World Junior Championship start, and you can see the line. Some team are really packed. The Sweden with Lekerami, right?
I'm telling you, this guy can score big time. Like, as much as you like, is it Eklund? There was 2 of these guys that were kind of similar, and I really thought Detroit might even grab him. I think their choice of Casper was the right one, but that guy can really score, man. Like, if you talk to the players always know, and the players always say this is the best. He's got the hardest, most accurate shot, and he'll shoot in high volumes, and he creates angles. Like,
he scored the first goal of the day, by the way. So
he's really got something going on there. Like, you know, it could go either way.
Lekerami, right? Lekerami?
Yeah, Lekerami, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, there was a lot of buzz around Habs land around him, right? Like, Bergevin, even though it was going to be out of their wheelhouse, like, they took him out to dinner and everything else. So I was surprised. I wasn't surprised that he got out where he got out, but I think he's
Like, so where was he? 7? No, let's see. Where did he end up going? Was it 7? So Kemmel was 17, and I think
he's the guy that really dropped. Yeah,
like he might be the more complete player, Kemmel, but I don't know. Lekerami, like, he's got just that instinct to score. I guess the risk with him is that he ends up being Timo Pulkkinen, because it was a very similar size player with similar skill set. But, you know, the upside is maybe this guy's a 30-goal scorer someday.
I found that Kemmel is a little bit more one-dimensional of a player compared to Lekerami, like a little bit higher hockey IQ. I don't know if a lot of Kemmel's game translates to the NHL to the same extent. Like, is he going to be a one-dimensional sniper guy, but doesn't really contribute in other areas of the game as much? I found Lekerami to be a bit more complete.
We put the clock at the corner, guys, to tell you we're going to start to talk about the rules in the next 3-4 minutes. Rick, I have a question for both of you. Maybe you can answer. How do you feel about Petrovsky going to Carolina?
Who doesn't like free things?
Yeah, they
Free
got
is
two
always
free
good.
things, kind of, right? Like
Yeah.
they picked up a lot of salary, but I think Burns and Pacioretty will probably fit in reasonably well there. And the comments on the way out were really bizarre from Patches. So
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
patches being patches. You know, I think it doesn't address the key thing that Carolina was missing, which is grit in their top six. I'm not saying grit on the bottom six, but being able, you know, like a Kachuk kind of piece, right? Like that can really get in there and play big minutes. So I don't think he gives them that.
You'll be interesting to see that. We have Mr. Nona Roger Ab is on the house tonight. Welcome aboard. Thanks to be with us tonight. Bobby said, was either Pacioretty or Lose Riley Smith, but not getting anything in return was not very good to hear that about that one over there. Mikro said Brent Burns is also going to Carolina Hurricane. Any comments you want to add about Burns with the Carolina Hurricane? What do you expect for him with the Carolina?
I think he's going to have a great year. I think he'll have a phenomenal year. Like, this guy's a mountain man. He's a monster. And he's still got lots in the tank. I think it's going to re-energize him. He'll fit in really well with Rod Bindamore, and he'll be a leader on that team.
Yeah, really good pickup. If he doesn't spend too much time on, like, at least he's not going to be on the show Vikings anymore, which is kind of disappointing. But either way, I think he'll have a good year. I think I picked Carolina to finish first in the East, so that's a big part of that.
A guy that I grew up with was on Vikings. And
really?
He was like, he was in the World Wrestling, what do you call it? WWE is
WWE. Wow.
What was he? You know, his name's Adam Copeland, but someone was like, "Oh, he's on TV." I looked. It's like, "Oh, he is. He's in that Viking show." But I guess
cool.
he was a wrestler for a long time. He was in that. He was like the world champion or something.
Damn.
Peter talked about Fantilli is fantastic. I'm hoping he falls to Montreal this year. Any characteristic you can talk, Michael, like a specific, like he's really good or anything like that, Michael?
He's above average at everything. He's got really projectable frame. He's got great acceleration with few strides. He's got a very hard, accurate shot, and he's actually a good playmaker. Like, he's just way above average in everything when you watch him, and he looks like he could get bigger. Like, he's already big. And he might be a real tough player to handle.
Who is the head coach for the St. Louis Blues? Doug Armstrong or Greg Berube? Can one of you can mention who is the general manager and the head coach?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a rhetorical question. Like, are they suggesting that Doug Armstrong is like a puppet master and Greg Berube doesn't, or it's a legitimate question? But yeah, Greg Berube is the coach. Yeah.
Yeah, and
he's the only coach there that won a Stanley Cup. So,
Nicolas de Gobi Bono, welcome in the house. Bobby, talk about Nether Raider with the Nashville Predator. What do you think about that pick from them?
He's such a he's always been a yo-yo player for me. He's got all the size and talent. He's 30 already, which is bizarre. I remember he played in Portland and W, and I don't know. He's when he's on, he's real good. He can obviously score. He's a big body, but for me, I don't know if he's always impactful.
I don't think he moves the needle that much for Nashville, but it's a nice piece. I don't mind Nashville's off season, to be honest. Like, I think they're kind of in the last wing of their window here. Like, they really have to try to squeeze the most out of that core that they have, because it's going to be hard to move that core into any other different direction. So milk it while you can.
I think they corrected the Ryan Ellis move, and it actually probably, unfortunately, I don't know if Ryan's going to be able to play again. So bringing in McDonough was real good, and I think Niederreiter definitely won't hurt them. And bringing back, actually, I was shocked they were able to bring back Forsberg.
We welcome Alexis Dubuc, the scout from Montreal area. He asked you this, maybe Michael or Marco, what do you think about Owen Beck from the Sound, whatever they call it?
Owen Sound.
Sound Platers, or whatever they're called now. They keep changing the name. I can never keep track. What's Owen Sound's name now?
Not sure. Not sure.
I don't know. Well, for me, he's a bottom 6 at best. He could be an AHL player also.
He was the number 1 on face-off, over 60%. Very good, smart defensive player. Zone coverage is very good. I believe he could be a really good third center in NHL.
I'm not a big fan of those safe picks. You know, especially when you have that many picks like Montreal did. Like just like they did it later, right? They swung for the fences with Hudson. So I'm not sure. I don't know. Like they must have some information around him, but it wasn't my favorite pick there, right? Like especially you had some right-handed Quebec-born D that was available at that spot. So like Warren, I think is probably where I would have went with that pick, but we'll see how it plays out.
I think he's actually with the Steelhead, the Mississauga Steelhead. I don't think he's with Owen Sound. Does Owen Sound even have a team still? I can't keep track. Ontario, since I've left Ontario, I have no idea what's going on over here.
We want to welcome Mr. Joseph Laham is in the house tonight. Welcome back. Let's dive in here, guys. We passed the time. So I was to be sure we talk about something like that. Breaking news is just like the news of the day. And today, guys, we have one signature today about Mario Ferreira. Play for the San Jose Sharks. Very solid defenseman, I believe, for them. Signed a 4-year contract at 3.25. Oh, this one is a tough one in my head, but I think I'm right. But what do you think about those that signature, both of you?
I don't know what San Jose is doing. It's 3.3. I don't know what San Jose is doing, to be honest. I don't mind Ferreira as a player. Like he was a nice little surprise for them, but I don't know what they're doing in San Jose.
He has a little bit of offense, but I don't know if that translates to me. I think he's a 5 or a 6 at best. Usually he's a good skater, but that seems a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think it's a good, for what he bring on the table, I think at 3 point, whatever he got is very solid for them. And to get him at 4 years, I think that's pretty good. Because he played a lot of good minutes over there, honestly.
What was he averaging, like 18 minutes or something?
Yeah, like he started, like he had this burst at the beginning of the year. Like I don't think they were projecting him to come in and have that big of an impact, but he just kind of came out of nowhere and feel like there were spots to be taken, right? Like with that roster. So,
I mean, he had 14 points in 63 games. Is that like a $3 million defenseman now?
Maybe.
I don't know. That sounds like a lot. They're pretty
gentleman from New Brunswick. Welcome back, Mr. Yann Gianet. Welcome.
Bonjour, Yann. Bonjour.
Roger Bouchard is in the house tonight. Welcome aboard. Talking about him, before we go to the next one, we want to finalize this one with a semi-final matchup for the Lenka Gretzky, Sweden versus Finland, and Canada versus Czechia, and then the both other game. So we'll be interesting to watching this, of course, for the next couple of days. The final is August 6th, and today is Saturday. So we'll be interesting to see that. And today we talk about the Montreal Canadiens video. It was all about the Montreal Canadiens. The 5 strength players can have a great setup for the upcoming year, and that's what we got for that one for the Montreal Canadiens video. I'm supposed to get a graphic from today, but I cannot figure out what is the graphic so far. So during the time, I will check about this. The first question for Roger said, maybe you can talk about this. The NHL rule commit to need to stop the unnecessary freezing on the puck on the board, dashboard. Fan hated. Any comments you want to talk about this? Or?
Yeah, I get it. Like, it's a tough thing to manage, though. Like, you can't really blow down the play. You want it to be organic and let the play happen. You know, often that's one of my favorite things when they have those hot mics in the rink and you can hear the linesman saying, move it. So I think they do a decent job at it's just one of those, like, it's like a filter, it's like a grease trap, you know, in a barbecue, right? Like, it just, at some point, all the massive humanity just lands on the boards, and, you know, I think they do a decent job, but hey, we have a fast game. It's better than baseball, right? Where you're have all these timeouts in between pitches and everything. So I think we're in pretty good shape in terms of the flow of the game.
I mean, the alternative is what? Call a penalty? I mean, do we need more penalties? This is crazy.
No, so for what I can understand for me is about a player. Let's call like, as a coach, you said, eat the puck. Every time guys eat the puck on PK or on the end of the game, 30 seconds to go, eat the puck to the board, everything like that. So when a player protect the puck to, you know, take the second down for the scoreboard, I think the referee should have that kind of the whistle. And after X second, I don't know, 1001, 1002, 1003, and then if the player does not move, but he called that penalty, everything like that. That would be something they can bring.
When it gets to be, you know, you see it once in a while where it gets really egregious if there's a delay of game. That's what it is, right? It's a delay of game call. But I don't know, man. Like battles along the boards, I'm down for that, right? Like we've already taken out a lot of the physicality in front of the net, so let them battle it out as long as it doesn't, you know, really kill the flow too much.
Well, the problem for me is the puck does not move. That's what could happen. If the puck is moving, the player is moving slowly, that's fine. But when you lose 12 seconds, 13, 15 seconds the corner because he protect the puck, for me, it's not hockey.
Yeah. So what if you made a rule, like everything defaults to a face-off when there's a whistle. Why wouldn't it just be a change of possession and they fire the puck down and then they regroup and break out and you can't pick up the forecheck until center ice?
Yeah, it sounds like it would be a good idea, but I still think it would, like, by the time they kind of do that, it still breaks up the flow. I think it would probably still take longer to execute.
Just give them possession, they regroup, and they come up and kill you. It's like, better not freeze. I'm going to get like a break-in again. It's almost like a shinny thing.
Yeah, like on the change of possession idea, though, I do like, we're talking about different rules or things that we could do. I've heard some people talk about having a possession clock during the 3-on-3 overtime. That's a neat idea, right? So, because like 3-on-3, it didn't take long for coaches to kind of scheme up ways to kind of make it boring, right? So that would be a cool thing, like where you go back and you're only allowed to kind of skate back with it for a certain period of time. You have like 24 seconds on the clock to bring it in, or else something happens. That's kind of a neat idea to change possession that way.
Oh my God, I hate that idea.
Welcome, Mr. Pierre Martin. Welcome in the house, Pierre Martin. And we want to invite everybody, guys. Don't forget to click on the likes. We are behind of the likes, so if you don't mind to do that, that'd be great. We really appreciate it. Owen Sound, Mississauga.
Ice Dogs.
Steelhead.
For Alexi.
That. Ice Dogs for a long time. They sold. They went Ice Dogs. They were St. Mike's because that's where Huberdeau played in that. The Memorial Cup was in Mississauga, and I think that was one of the last 2 years they were the Mississauga Ice Dogs, or not the Ice Dogs, the St. Mike's Majors, right? They were the St. Mike's teams. They were associated with Eugene Melnick, and then they became the Steelhead with the new owner.
Farewell, Amogus, welcome back in the house tonight. ENORTAP said, is it the Owen Sound attack?
Maybe it is.
Yes, it is.
That sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah.
It's absolutely right about this one over there. I do like the Jays, but I'm faithful in Joel. Ron Bro, I hit the bottom. Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. I heard could be new changing for the account. I heard that the Calgary Flame have a new team, the Wrangler, I believe that's the nickname they got. Play or area. I don't know exactly the city. Do you know where exactly they play? Anybody, both of you know?
Yeah, it's oh my God, what's that rink? It's actually a really pretty good rink. It's not Burnaby.
Isn't it in Calgary? Isn't their affiliate going to be in Calgary? I thought it was. I remember because that's kind of the new trend, right? Like having the AHL team in the same city. Yeah.
It is. That's what it is. It's in Calgary.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
is the great for the Montreal Canadiens, Alexis? Not too bad. I would say to you, B plus. That would be the best way I can see that, Alexis, for them, or A minus, Alexis, around them for the draft, but not for the off summer, honestly. But for the draft, I would give that one, Alexis. Kerry Willett, Kerry Willett, welcome back in the house. About the job, interesting. They talk about each other. Mr. Danny, welcome back in the chat tonight. Welcome in the house, Mr. Danny T.
Danny T.
How do you feel about the getting rid of the doggy penalty?
How's this?
I don't know what that is. Dog penalty? Is that DOG? That stands like an acronym?
It's not like for embellishing.
Oh, delay of game. Delay of game.
What, diving? Oh,
delay of game.
Yeah. It's
so now before you talk, Marco, the delay game is. I think he talked about the puck go over the glass on its front location on the ice. So want to be sure they understand. So Marco, go ahead.
Are you saying they are getting rid of it, or
whether we should get rid of it or not? I don't know. Like, I think it adds drama for sure, but man, does it ever hurt when it stinks you at a bad point in a game or something. That hurts. I would be inclined to probably get rid of it, but it does add drama. But there's some pretty unfair circumstances. I get the spirit of why they put it in, but I'm not sure it's achieving everything they wanted it to.
These guys are so good at repetitive things that if you take it out, they're going to be thrown in the stands all the time to break up plays and making it look like they're just trying to toss it off the glass. So that's the, it's like, be careful we wish for it. The number of times that it happens and it is painful to watch, like, I think the alternative might be worse.
I will not. For me, it's about Michael. You nailed you nailed it when you said the player will just put the puck anytime out, and then the goalie will do it all day long.
The goalie will do it.
They will do it all day long about one. So I will not get it. It's a part of the game, I believe, for me. Question like this. I'm referee tonight, so I'm going to give you both of you. And you travel Canada and USA. If a player or a goalie send the puck outside the rink at any moment, like over the glass, whatever they have net or no net, they have a penalty or no penalty?
As far as I know, there's no penalty. But it keeps changing. I can't keep track of it. USA Hockey is different than like. Are you talking USA Hockey or Hockey Canada?
Yeah, I'm talking about USA Hockey example.
USA Hockey. I mean, up till 2 years ago, I could tell you there was no penalty, but maybe there is now. I don't know.
I don't think there is, no.
So the only one can do that, cannot do it, is the goalie. So if the goalie pick up the puck and he send the puck over the glass, whatever they have a net, he got a 2 minute for penalty.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe my goalies just all sucked here.
So that is the only moment in the game where the players you travel can do that. So I just want to sharing with you about those one over there, about this. Luciano said, if there are too many offside review, should this rule be revisited or should stay?
Oh my God. This rule is like
I have a good solution for this one. I think I have a good solution for this one. Like you're seeing it in the Hlinka tournament right now. Just review every goal, and then you don't have to, like, it doesn't take that long. Just review every goal automatically, and then you just take the guesswork out of it.
So are we talking about the challenge, or are we just talking about the tag up versus no tag up?
You're talking about the outside at the blue line.
Like a challenge, like, but the only time a challenge happens is when there's a goal scored, most likely, right?
Right. So then the flip side is, like, I don't even know what the offside rule is anymore because they keep changing it. Like, is it tag up or not tag up? Like, what is it this year?
Well, that Makar call in the playoffs last year messed with everybody's mind, right? For the offside.
Right.
It was the right call, but
it was. but it was like a Jedi mind trick, right? Like everybody was, I didn't think it was onside initially, but it makes sense. But yeah.
For the people in the chat now, the rule changed offside last season, so you have always to be sure your skate touch the blue line at any moment before the puck cross the line. Now you can put your skate over the line now, and the puck go in. You are it's not an offside, so they waive it every time like that. Now the situation with McCarr, it was exactly what I thought, and it's happening with Plekanec a couple of years ago, where it's a bang play. He push the puck in the blue line, and then he wait until the player get out, and he's still outside the blue line, and then he touch the puck after that. He did not carry on the puck all the way inside, so it was the reason it was a goal on that one. So it's a little bit. Yeah. Now back to the question for Luciano. I think for me, not the team. I think everything have to go from Toronto. If Toronto already set up the play right away with every camera they got, they should already set up. The problem, Marco and Marco, is the linesmen have to reviewing the play, and they are the two people decide for the call. Where I believe, no, don't worry. Pick up the puck, go back on the blue line, whatever you have your job, and let the people in Toronto right away look about the blue line. If this is a call, if they challenge the team number A, but you get the goal right now. Don't get all the headphone, both of them, and look about this. Now you take 4, 5, 6 minutes for nothing about this. I think all those referees should be called right away by Toronto. That would be quicker, better, faster, better.
Yeah, that's what I mean by having it every goal review automatically is Toronto would do it. Sorry, go ahead, Michael.
I think what they should do is have fans vote by text whether it was a goal or not, and the most text win.
Yeah, Pierre said the battle against the board for the puck is a big part of the game. I agree with you, Pierre, about this. The only thing for me, if the puck is not a movement and he's honestly blocked the puck over there, and nothing happening. Right? The puck does not move. He protect the puck and then goal with his skate. That's what for me it's not hockey anymore. It's the same way if the player had the puck behind the net, he's stuck over there, and then the defensive team stay at the blue line, wait for the guys coming, like Tampa Bay did with Guy Boucher a couple years ago against the Flyers. Now the referee called the play right there. So you have to be sure the player are always in action. That's for me, if the puck does not move, that's what the referee should call it right away and give him a warning. And then after that, he does not move anyway, give him a penalty. That's the best way I can describe this one. I don't know if you have anything.
I get it. It's not, to me, it doesn't impede my enjoyment of the game. Like I get, maybe once in a while it gets really, like, it's exaggerated to the point where, like, okay guys, like, you've been there way too long. But it's pretty rare that I'm watching a game and I get frustrated with that play. There's a lot worse rules out there, I think, but
Farrell, I used to live, okay, I'm sorry about that. Gonna be like it. I'm working on Saturday. I'm gonna. Mr. Untitled, thought about the constant inconsistency of the goaltending interference rule. Something has to change. This is crazy now.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah. The funniest thing was when Ducharme was in his press conferences, I think last year, and he was just, you could see how visibly frustrated he was because he just really didn't understand what to do anymore. That is a huge problem. Again, I think this is solved potentially by you just review every goal by Toronto. That way a team is not risking, losing or getting a penalty for a rule that it can be interpreted subjectively by so many different people. You have very smart hockey people that understand the rule technically, that can agree on it. These goals are just too important, right? So if you're going to have a messy subjective rule, then at least don't show your thought process to the entire crowd and everybody watching on TV. Just do it in the room and have the, like you said, coach, having them call and tell them what the decision is. But having it the way that they have it now, where they look so disorganized, and I think it's bad for the reputation of the league. It's bad for the integrity of the game because nobody knows what's what. So if it's never going to be perfect, so just take it out. Don't showcase it. You know what I mean?
It's frustrating, I think, for officials for, in two ways. One, I think they're trying to get it right, and there's so much scrutiny. So it's like, we have less and less faith as a result in the officials, and they're trying to take their time and get input to make the right call. So I think, to your point, first, just like, let's stop making this about like ticky-tacky stuff. If there's contact, that's a problem. And I get it. But some of the stuff is just crazy. We don't want to go back to toe in the crease nonsense.
Here, man, I will simplify everything. If the player is skating touch the crease, out, no go.
Yeah.
If the player play the puck and the crease with his skating in the crease, out, no go. If the player touch the goalie after a rebound, touch the pad or any part of the goalie after try to pushing the puck because the puck is there and he's touch the goalie, no go. So that would simplify everything like that. That would push the player to be outside of the crease, a little bit far away. Every time the defense push the opponent players at any moment, push an action with his arm was his body, right? But that moment, you have to let it go in because you was pushing, and that's it. You have 4 things to do, A, B, C, and D, and that's it, nothing else. If everybody cannot be in the crease, if everybody cannot touch the goalie, that simplifies 90% of all the stuff like that. That's
the international. You just described the international rule, right? Like they basically blow the play dead. It's not a penalty. You just blow it dead. Right. We can debate whether that's our preference or not, but either simplify it, like you said, Coach, or if you're going to keep it this messy, then just don't subject us to the horror of trying to interpret it and having the referees do it.
Because remember, like, you have a goal against Colorado. I don't know if they got it. I remember he was in and out. But the players touched the pad of the goaltender against Francouz, and then the puck go back loose, and then after that, the puck goes straight inside after that, and I don't know if they got it. But the fact the players touch the pad from the side, automatically have no goal. Whatever happening after that is right there for me, and that's what it's become too much a gray zone, because you have too many people take a decision about that one over there for me. Everything. You know what? Shoot the puck, play the rebound, but don't go in front of the net. You have no protection anymore for the goaltender. You have too many players go straight to the goalies for whatever they play, the puck, whatever it is. It's a very speed game anyway. And the goalie, pour them, they have no protection all the time. And so many of them get hurt and so many get ramped because the player got pushing or he did not stop. I don't know. I remember like Kadri hit the players. Whatever he maybe did not. Oh, it's not matter. You touch the goalie, you're responsible about this one. At least your defenseman cross-checking the back of Kadri. You are responsible of all your action. The same way, if you hit a high stick in the head of the players, whatever, blood, no blood, it's automatic. It's 2 minutes. Every contact from the goalies, from the players, whatever he loses edge, whatever it is, you know what? 2 minutes. Same. What is the difference between this one and the high stick? Many of them, sometimes you hit the players, the head of the player does this, never touch it. So every player's coming from the net, whatever he lost his edge, you know what? You're in control of your body. So I would call it penalty.
I just think that would be. I hope that's a joke, because that's just like completely would be the most horrible thing in the game. Like, we've already got this issue in front of the net because we don't allow them to box out, which I get. So now they've got to front the guy. You're letting a guy between the defenseman and the goalie because they've got to front him instead of boxing him out, unless there's this mutual contact nonsense. And then we're complaining that he's touching the goalie because we're fronting him. like this is a house of cards, you know? Like we can't address the one rule without addressing the other. So we have to decide: are we allowing this guy between the defenseman and the goalie? Because that's what the rule is basically now. You're preventing like them from making physical contact and boxing him out.
Unless it's the playoffs. Unless your name is Shea Weber. Right, yeah.
All right, let's go move on to the next one. If not, we're going to talk about this rule forever. I know that. I believe sudden death overtime should be reserved for the playoff, and the regular season shootout should begin immediately, and the opposing coach must be the opponent team players.
What?
No, I don't like it. Rudolph, I have a problem with that one. I like the 3-on-3. I like the 3-on-3, but straight to shootout. I would like to see them actually just kind of like maybe you just remove an additional player and just keep going until they score. To be honest,
5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3, 2-on-2, 1-on-1.
That would be fun.
Let's try that. That would be fun.
I would say me because the game is so long about that one over there. When they play the 3 versus 3, no change on the face-off. So if I call a whistle, I think the same players stay on the ice, right? That's the same thing anyway. They stay on the ice about that one over there. So my point to you is about this. When they start to play the NASCAR driver, right? The race, they do this. That's become boring for me about this. We have to find a way to do that. Because
the shot clock. Like I was saying, you should have a shot clock. So when you have possession of the puck, you only have a certain amount of time, a certain amount of time to circle around in your zone, or else you lose possession of the puck.
Or you need to shot, exactly. You have to shot the puck inside the every 30 seconds, like basketball, right? They bring the ball back and forth. I think it's really good play over there. If not, the rule of the Dominic Strom, I believe it was, we're going to start with Philippe Dano, and then we're going to control the puck. We're going to turn around until they get tired, they cannot turn the players, and then we're going to attack. They could be like this for, no reason at 3 versus 3 you don't have a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shot every 5 minutes. For me, that's something I will figure out. So I would push the action to go faster, better, and have better play overall, I believe.
I think this goes back to my comment about face-offs. Like, why are we having any face-offs in an overtime? If we're going to do 3-on-3, I would rather see them implement a tag-up rule, and it's a regroup and break in, or you change possession. And I mean, we do it in camp all the time. You know, you see the guys know how to do it. It's just we're defaulting always to a face-off, and it's stopping the play. If you really want like bandwagon hockey in the overtime, then just make it so it's like they either change possession, have to tag up, and it's a break-in or a regroup and a break-in.
I agree with you about that one over there. And when you do that, Michael, is to be sure the puck go have to be behind the goal line, all right? And then the player have to touch the blue line, and then the last one, you cannot go in and before the last one touch the blue line. If not, it's going to be this one with that. So that's a good one about the. They want to penalize the freezing the puck, but they have TV timeout. Go figure. That's ID. But they have TV timeout. Yeah, but because they have TV timeout because do you know why what the reason they go TV timeout?
Money.
To scrape the ice?
Yes.
Well, that's true too.
That's the reason why they do that. That's really for the ice now.
That's a good point.
And that's the reason that behind that one over there. So people tell us because the commercial not allows because the ice create about that one over there.
That is true. There's a lot of snow.
And then we go that one over there. Thought on the cutting cold back when the player out in the crease, even is there no goaltender interference? I think so. I think we go through that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Steve G, welcome aboard. Welcome back. No going to Toronto anymore for video request review. This has to become a joke.
I don't know, man. It's kind of like baseball. I don't understand why they have umpires anymore at all. Like when you can capture all the balls and strikes with a radar gun.
I was gonna say,
yeah. I'd love it if they could get like trackers in the puck to understand exactly when they cross the line, all those things. Like just take it's I'm not saying have no referees, like have 30 Steve Watkins that are kind of having fun with it and calling this stuff, but let's rely on our technology a bit more and just get calls right.
Yeah, I think the tracker and the puck thing is inevitable, and I think lasers in the net is probably inevitable.
Yeah. You didn't use air quotes when you said lasers, but I'll accept anyway.
Lasers, just like Fox TV.
Yeah.
So Adam said that the NHL should change the rule that once the goalie leave the crease, it's live play, and the team going for the puck should be able to play the puck.
I mean, the trapezoid thing is so confusing to me still after 25, 30 years.
So the new rules,
the Berger rule.
The new rule is they put, I don't know, Adam, if you play the puck behind the net, in front of the net, the side of the net, but behind the net, they have a 2-line and 45 degrees, I would say to you. And every time the goalie can play the puck behind the net at any moment, and that's his zone, and he could have no contact over there, he can go there. Now, when he play the puck at any other location, he's really now on his risk to get hit or to play like that, and he risks the puck all the time. So that's the only way I can mention about this. And
if it was up to me, like goalies would be fair game. As soon as they're out of the blue, they're fair game.
So he said should change the rules get on the goalie. He lead the player, the team going for the puck should be able to play the puck. Usually it is like this, Adam. Now, if it's behind the net, that's another one over there. Rule change in our tap. Allow goal to hit a player's skate to count. As long as the skate is not raised above the ice surface, allow kicking in and the deflection of the skate.
Yeah.
So they have
Gord Miller.
Go ahead.
Gord Miller always talks about this when he's calling the games. This is, I think, crystallizes why it doesn't make sense. You're allowed to kick a goal out of the net, like you're able to kick it away from the net, but you can't kick it in the net. How does that make sense? So if a puck is dribbling towards the net and it's an open net, you're allowed to kick it out, but you're not allowed to direct it in or kick it in. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so the rule changed a couple of years ago, and they changed like the interpretation of the visual. When I said that, like every puck go from the outside skate now, they gave it. Right. They don't discuss anymore. They gave it every time from you. So what is your outside skate? But this is the blade of the skate this way, right? But this is your left leg, but the outside is this way. This is the inside here because both skate out together. So this side outside, this is inside. So every time you touch the outside at any movement you do, 99.9 they gave the goal about this one over there. Now they said the inside, like remember the Blake Coleman situation about this one over there?
That should have been a goal, yeah. Every
time they move the inside, you have a movement like degrees. They said that. I think you're absolutely right. For me, it's easy again for me. If it's a kick straight like a ball, a soccer ball, straight, like only straight, no goal. Every other moment, on the inside, outside, move the skate beside, it's a skill in my eyes. So let the go in, that'll be easier to move on.
Yeah, as long as they're not doing scissor kicks like in hockey, then I would, or like in soccer, then I would just let them kick it in. As long as the skate is not elevated, like they're trying to kick it out of midair or anything like that. Otherwise, just to go.
I don't think they should be able to kick it in still. But the one thing I really think that we need to reconsider is the high stick rule. I mean, I think we're seeing, with all the lacrosse goals, with all the tipping is a skill, and we're worried about low scoring. Like, I think there's probably more goals that are called back because of the high stick rule that really it's almost like a skill that we should encourage. Like,
you can and shoot it's impossible.
It high and tip it down.
And it's impossible to ever understand if the stick because the angles are never clear as to whether the stick is at the crossbar. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, if you don't hit anybody, you're just hitting the puck, then I don't care.
Renaud, c'est review Nate, 61 of the second time of delay game, but who you give the delay game, Renaud?
To Toronto.
Oh, it's Toronto. It's not going to be happening. New rule for rule, the goalie are fair game to hit when they come out of the blue plane, to play the puck. About it.
I agree.
Bring back the crease rule where a goal does not count if the offensive team is standing in the crease.
I hate this. I hate that rule. It was terrible. You guys weren't even alive then, most of you. Shut up. You don't know how bad it was.
And the minor hockey league, the crease relation, you go into the crease face up outside the blue line. You're absolutely right about this one over there. Cancel the trampoline Rudy rules. Renaud said about this one over there. I don't have the punch. That would be make a thing. So Mr. A Crown, K Round G in the house. Welcome in the house. Renaud, welcome back in the house. This is a goal from Cole Caulfield. They came to Chris Nolan. We learned to hate Toronto quick playing for Montreal. All right.
Yeah. It's a good interview.
Yeah, that is necessary evil. Otherwise, dumb over glass at the time. Embellishment penalty is also crazy. Sometimes after a tripping penalty, they have gave a penalty to other team for embellishment. If a player trip another, how can it be embellishment?
Classic chicken and the egg there, huh?
You're both gone.
Yeah, that's... You know, you never get a 2 minute for embellishment.
Yeah.
Like, it's always been like a 2 minute at the same time, like both players at the same time. And sometimes, I believe some players diving without really thinking the players make a tripping or they make an action to, and I think that player should be out. Well, when you try to risk release the referee because you did something like that, I think you should get the players out. Some players are smart.
You totally see it. It's brutal. Like to pretend that there isn't embellishment is crazy. Like, we have to leave this in because the players are, especially the young players coming up, they're all a bunch of softies and they're divers.
I think Tim Stutzla just entered the chat.
Ridiculous. Love you, Tim. Stop doing it.
All right, let's move on. I look for the player to remove the helmet if they are fighting.
Well, they're trying to get rid of fighting, so I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah. I think I'm surprised nobody's brought up anything around headshots right now. Like, all the rule changes that we've talked about are things that annoy us or to get more goals, but nothing around player safety. And I think that's probably where the most improvement needs to happen.
Hitting for drives me nuts.
Can we talk about that for a sec, Coach? Like the whole, the whole kind of like, they tried to do the blindsided rule for headshots, and now like you can hit through the body first and then it hits the head. That's crazy to me. Like, we need to be protecting people's brains. Wouldn't it be easier to just have an intent to injure penalty? I know, like, that's a little bit broader because right now it's so subjective, right? Like, okay, did you hit through the body? Was it blindside, the angle, all those things? If it's just very obvious that the player was trying to injure the other player, there should be like a major penalty. And international rules as well too, where any headshot, whether it's through the body, whatever, then it's automatically expulsion. I think it's like 5 minutes in a game.
It's gotten really confusing though. I mean, I guess it's like you have to be in front of the guy. You can't be. Or I don't know if I mean the players are smart enough to get it. Maybe I just don't get it on the bench. Like,
that's what I mean. Like, instead of having all these rules around it, did it look like he was trying to injure the guy? It's one thing to hurt someone, like to hurt someone with a hit, but to injure someone.
Yeah, the headshots are bad. I mean, I don't know how else you deal with it, but we're sitting there micromanaging film to see like, oh, it was the shoulder to the head, and so I think there's something to be said with what you're saying, which is, well, he was hitting him. He was not attempting to hit him in the head. So I think
the hit him in the head.
You're probably right.
Yeah. Did he hit him in the head? Well, yeah, he hit him in the head.
There was head contact. That's different than hitting him in the head. So maybe that's what it is.
All right. Bobby said, I would penalize the goalie for intentional putting the puck out of the play, but not the defenseman. At least it was one of the obvious they did it on purpose.
This is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah. If the defenseman is really, really sorry, then okay. He's really, really sorry.
Now you're going to create so much like who was a purpose or no purpose, everything like that. So for me, try to eliminate those kind of information like that, the most you can be about this one over there. New rule, if a player purposely injure another player, suspension should be 2-3 games. If a player come back to play or suspension lasts along an injury, player is out.
Eye for an eye. Yeah, like it's hard to justify, right? Like you have player, that gets a 2-game suspension, and you play that team another 2 times, and your guy's not back yet because he's concussed or whatever, and a guy served 2 games.
So take because he liked the Kings, and Enzi Kopitar is coming to the corner and he hit the players Samuel Girard. Right, and Girard right now he broke his sternum. He's going to be out for 9 months. Whatever it was, not try Kopitar to try to hit him like badly. That. Now you're going to take Kopitar for 9 months because now Girard cannot coming back right there.
But that wasn't a penalty, though, was it? That Kopitar where he basically broke Girard in half, which is what basically would happen. That wasn't even a penalty, though, right? So it shouldn't be like somebody gets the equal amount of time if someone gets hurt. But if, let's say, there is an intent to injure, somebody gets injured, I don't know. It's a tough one. I get it. But yeah.
So Emelin hit today Michkov. Now, Michkov is going to be out for 2 months. Whatever it was, that it was intentional or not, now Emelin have to get out with no money for 2 months.
This might be the only rule dumber than COVID rules. This is a terrible idea.
I just would be too hard to.
It makes no sense. You're gonna have no players playing. You're gonna have to have 80 players on your active roster.
Because after that, nobody would hit anybody.
It's not. It makes no sense.
I think the midpoint there is again, like, if we had actual protections for the head and if we actually had intent to injure rules that made sense, then we wouldn't need to go as extreme as something like that, right? Because I think that would deter more than kind of what we're talking about here. So
Renaud talked about the 3 point for regulation when rewards aggressive hockey, and we can go with that question he talked about, but with 3 point for W, 2 point and 1 point, whatever they are you agree or disagree for that?
I like the way it is now.
I'm indifferent. I never like to change things too much, because then it's hard to compare statistics historically, right? When we've already done it. When we eliminated ties, we already changed it, right? So what's another point among friends?
And I don't remember those years. There was like 12 columns in the stats. You're like, what do all these things mean? And it took a bunch of geniuses 2 seasons to figure out, oh, that's an overtime loss.
I think for me, it's a big problem there, because think about Florida last year, 16 point and overtime last year. They win and the standing, and they win the President Trophy. For me, I would set a team and score, one is 2-2 at the last 3 minutes, and they push hard and they compete. They don't sit down to wait for get 1 point at the end of the game. That's something they can penalize the other team or something like that. But I don't know how you have to look about the rules. But for me, that's something you can figure out about this. Or you get an extra point because you push hard on the last 3 minutes or 2 minutes of the game and not sit, tie the game.
They get penalized because their fans get bored and stop buying tickets if they're just skating around doing nothing.
Because honestly, the last 5 minutes of the game, they just wait for the clock down at 0.
Do we really think, though? I think that the overtime and the shootout is in pretty good shape right now. Like, I'm not too worried about this area.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, me neither. And I know there's a lot of people like don't like making the game longer, but I love hockey, man. I'll watch another 5 minutes of 3-on-3. I don't care. I have a day job, but I'll still watch it. So just keep it going, man.
I do like the experiment that Coach mentioned, though, where you start with 4 or 5 and you whittle your way down.
Renaud said the shootout is not hockey. It's too much a gimmick winning hockey.
It's still better than a tie. Nothing is less satisfying than a tie. Like, I can't even believe that I used to watch games that ended in a tie. I don't know.
Mr. Vinny James 007 is in the house. Ron said take out the shootout and make a 10-minute overtime.
Oh my God, no.
I agree with the 10-minute overtime, but I wouldn't take out, like, again.
Really? In the regular season?
I'd be fine with it, yeah.
Kelly, she said no, that 10-minute, but 20-minute overtime.
No face-offs. 10 minutes running time, no face-offs. Tag up rule.
Shot clock, ticking time bomb. Make it like the movie Speed, where you have like dynamite strapped to their uniforms, and if they stop skating, they explode. I don't know. There's got to be something.
We should make it like the movie. What was it called? The Bob and Doug McKenzie movie.
And Untitled said that you should give 3 point, 2 point, 1 point, and the team losing should never be awarded with a point.
Merry Christmas, ENORTAP.
God, no.
He sounds like Scrooge, like too strict.
Matt Anderson in the house said 10-minute overtime and 80-minute the shootout.
Seems like a popular option.
I don't know if you're gonna do that.
But what happens? What happens if it's not over after 10 minutes?
1 point each.
So it's a tie.
That's a tie. I don't like. Yeah, I don't like that.
We're back to screwing with the standings.
Yeah.
Should crashing into the goalie be automatically penalty? You're responsible of your skate if no one push you into the goalie.
It is.
Yep. Why not the OT playoff system, Yan?
Oh my God, no.
Yan, the easy way I would set this, Yan, is because first of all, they play back-to-back game, Yan, right? And they have to leave the building. Example, the flight would be at 11:45 or 12:50, and they have to get out. And if not, imagine they finish at 1 o'clock in the morning, they take a plane, now they go to the next destination, they go to bed at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. Only about injuries for each player, with the recovery, they have no time to recovery. That would be a mess for that one over there. Now the playoff, Yan, that's another subject. For the season.
Yeah, don't screw with the overtime playoff format ever.
So in the playoffs, how many teams lost out on advancing because of insanely long overtimes? Because there was some crazy, like, I think it really screwed with a few teams in the first couple rounds.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, I think, Pittsburgh, that didn't help for sure, especially with their goaltending.
Do that during the regular season? That's nuts.
Yeah.
Rudolph Lee said no overtime, just go straight to the shootout.
Yeah.
I like the way it's right now. I'm happy. We're good.
Honestly, for me, I prefer to watch 3 versus 3 at a shootout.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just less decisive usually. That's the problem.
Because a shootout, for me, they pick the puck and you know exactly what's going to happen. Like, they have no move. Like, you know already what they're going to do. Like, left and right, 5-0. And for me, it's not excited like a 3 versus 3. I think 3
Here's
versus
an
3
idea.
is just...
Here's an idea, guys. Like, if people say that shootout is not real hockey, why not just have, so we do 3-on-3 and then have 2-on-1s until somebody scores.
2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s, 3-on-2, 2-on-1.
By the way, talking about 3 versus 3, do you follow the league? They just started for the summer. It's really popular right now.
Yeah.
Around the country in Canada. So
I heard some reports about DUARTE, who's playing in that league, and apparently he isn't shooting the puck very much, and it has some people kind of concerned about his wrist.
No, good news today. Happened out at 5 o'clock is completely 100% ready to go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was out on the internet today about this. I read this around before the show tonight. Whatever they call it, the fanatic marqueur, la page bleue, and all that stuff like that.
Only in Montreal where you have people over-analyzing 3-on-3 summer hockey.
Oh
yeah.
God, this is hilarious.
Luciano, maybe solution for offside is paint a thinner blue line. That blue line is 12 inches thick and a puck is only 3 inches in diameter.
I think there's a lot of macho guys in hockey. I don't think you want to be messing with how many inches. So.
Pierre Martin, an OT 5 versus 5, 2-15-minute period. First goal win.
OT 5-on-5. Yeah.
Let's give them 2 minutes. That's too long, Pierre.
Yeah.
Do you know why they changed the rule? If always used to be if anyone was in the crease and the puck went in it, it was not a goal. Why did they change it?
2 words, Brett Hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who I met in the summer.
Really? Was he ripped? It seems like every time I see him on TV now, he's just ripped. No? Okay.
Oh, like drunk?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't come out of that haze.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't think he had a 6-pack or anything, like not that kind of ripped.
No. He is yeah, he's definitely
thicker,
happy. Yeah. He's a barrel.
All right. Stop automatically giving 2 minute blood draw should be subjective for that one. If you don't have the letter Q, guys, I'm going to stop. We're going to jump every your comments because it's getting too much. Too many things going to talk about outside of hockey right now, and I cannot follow everything in the chat. So if you have a question from now, put the letter Q, and I will go all the way down about this. If not, it's too many things going on about outside the subject. That's why now would get in space.
While you're finding something though, Coach, like an interesting one is why is it that if you hit somebody in the head with your stick, why does it matter if there's blood? Is that really what should, because again, you could like axe somebody in the face, but if for some reason it doesn't bleed, it's only 2 minutes. So the whole blood thing doesn't really make sense to me. And then the whole thing where people are like looking for blood when they just got nicked, and then that whole thing doesn't make sense.
The Ray Bork rule.
Yeah.
New rule for Pierre Martin. Toronto player forbid from the Toronto and can make throw first round and only. The resign on the goalie helmet. See the fall of Slay game. Franco, welcome aboard, Franco. A new rule: player must wear mouthpiece, not to be used as a chewing gum by players. Sir.
The Matthew Tkachuk rule. This guy's always chewing on his fake mouthpiece.
It was just next time. Goes, this is not basketball. That ID. Stop letting the referee throw out the face-off. I'm sorry for the people. I have not many things said about that. I will go all the way down and I will jumping about this. Mr. Ran Sexton, welcome aboard. Zenit Gamin, welcome aboard. Thanks to be a part of the show. Mr. Switzerland, welcome aboard, Switzerland. Thanks to be a part of the show.
Time to take a side, Switzerland.
There we go. I like Swiss hockey. So gonna switch. Okay, that new rules. If a player break his stick, he has to pick it up and bring it to the bench immediately or penalty.
So we're giving them house cleaning duties now, or else they get penalties. I think in the heat of the play, that would be hard to do. I would reduce the linesman's salary if he doesn't pick up the broken stick. That's what annoys me more than anything. The linesman just like skating by and letting broken sticks there.
But I don't see like a problem. A player lose his stick, or he break his stick. Like, what?
I think Renault was saying like if you break your stick and you don't pick it up and bring it to the bench, then you get a penalty. So I think that's a little harsh. So instead of that, just dock $50 off the linesman for not picking it up.
Just leave it on the ice. Who cares?
The problem with goalies is they spend too much time in the blue.
Where else would you want them to?
I don't understand that one. Direct with the skate, yes. Kick in the goal, no.
That's what it is now.
Yeah.
And again, red line mode, the blue light, feel free to give more room for magic. So he said, make an offside start at the red line or move the blue line back a few feet to gain more room for offense magic.
That would make the neutral zone really, really small.
Yeah, I don't see. Bring back the rule. If a goalie commit a penalty, goalie serve a penalty.
Is that that was a rule before? He's saying bring it back. Was that the rule before? I've never seen that. I've never seen a goalie serve a penalty. Was that what it was like before? In the 30s or something?
When it was like played by the Ottawa Silver Seven in 1922 or something. Like,
Bill Durham or something like that, yeah.
Bill Durham. Jesus. Frank McGee.
Ron said refs should have to wear camera or helmet to help with those eye stick goal.
Or we just let them make the call and stop second guessing them like a bunch of self-appointed experts.
I think the other side, just have robots do the entire thing.
Honestly, like, I'm coming to that point, but then people will they'll hate the robots. They'll like want to.
That's all right.
Smash the robot.
Okay.
People will be messing with the robots.
Trump would be saying that the robots were rigged and that whole thing. Yeah.
Mr. Ed, welcome aboard.
What?
He said,
"Go back." What does that mean? I don't know what.
They should take out the automatic offensive zone on the power play if it's destroying goalies.
What?
Well, Coach, like we talked about, like I wouldn't do that, but I kind of understand what he means. Like, Coach, remember we were talking about how right now the longevity of goalies is starting to be a problem because they have those weird techniques, the A-frame technique. Like, I think we're going to see the average shelf life for a goalie diminish to 28 years old as an average.
Injuries and knee injuries.
Yeah. But I still wouldn't do it, but I understand what he means.
The suspension to Matthews should not have been a suspension, not just say that causes Matthews.
Which one was that? That was in the...
It was a cross-checking in the face at Dallin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty nasty, though.
I think it was. Though the number was another subject, but I think it was about that one over there. I apologize. You had too many things going on. A better technology like a RFID chip is additional to the NHL game. Then they do in minor league. Have to do it too. Hockey is already expensive.
Yeah. We've learned that Hockey Canada has a lot of money, though. So recently.
Not anymore.
Just take it from the slush fund.
So ridiculous. How big was the slush fund?
I believe it's like $23 million.
Oh, that's not much. That's nothing.
It's like $3 a pop. It adds up.
It's not.
So, Ron talk about, no, Coach, Brett Marchand like to slow foot people on purpose. Let's say his hand and broken leg, and he's out for 2-3 months. Marchand is gone 2-3 months. You can prove it. That's not hard to do.
Yeah, I don't think this is realistic.
Yeah, but what about a guy hit someone in the head from the behind run?
We have a less violent game than we've ever had, guys. Like, why don't we just strap foam around their heads?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, but see, Michael, I don't get it. Like, we were aligned earlier that we need to do something about headshots, right? So, there's a fine line. Like, the pendulum. I don't want the pendulum to go all the way where, you know, if there's no hitting. But I think if there was a better deterrent around headshots, because I think that's really the most dangerous thing that happens in the game right now. That and like hits around the boards. You know, like look at the effort they put in grassroots hockey to put the stop sign behind jerseys, and I think overall that's improved.
This is why I said before hits from behind drive me nuts. So I mean, I think we've coached for a long enough time that that's basically just not a thing. You know, GTHL, like 3 games if a kid hits someone from behind, and yet then we go and we see Mark Messier's Hall of Fame videos, and every hit was from behind. And we still haven't addressed it. And I agree with taking the headshots out, like, and I think they've done a pretty good job of that. And I think that just, you know, nothing's going to be perfect, but I don't understand why we have not at all addressed hits from behind. Like, that makes no sense to me.
They have done some proactive things though with the icing calls, having the hybrid icing. That certainly took a pretty risky element out of the game, where there was not really any competitive value. Yeah,
definitely terrible. But I think the board play, to your point, like we did see boarding calls a little bit more. I'd like to see the stats on it though. It felt like we saw more, but not hits from behind. It's like you can just crush a guy from behind.
I think this is very telling about the NHL. Like, what did they decide to crack down on last season or the season before that? They cracked down on little slashes to the wrist, because that affects, you know, skilled players going to, like, it'll provide more goals because people, you know, they'll be more comfortable. Like a Jonathan Drouin who doesn't like to go to the center of the ice. He still doesn't go, but you think he would go now because he won't get those, you know, slashes on his wrists. So they put in rules like that more to protect the product, you know, like more goals, make it more exciting, but still not enough on player safety, in my opinion. You can see where they're prioritizing.
I think that they are concerned about headshots. There's been a lot. Every summer there is emphasis on this, but I just don't. I think it's, you know, it's an argument between 32 GMs, right? So everyone, there's always a give and take, and I think that's what we always kind of miss. It's like not everybody agrees on these things, and some voices are louder than others, and that's how we end up with weird stuff that the refs enforce or don't enforce.
Yeah.
So, ENORTAP said the parité in the NHL is partially created by the Disclosure 1 point award. How can you possibly award them one more excitement? You have to put something on the line. So here's my point. I understand when he talking about this, we would be more excited to get the point. But do you know after 40 games, you already know who's going to be in the playoff, and most of the team will be out of the playoff, because now you have a team already at, I don't know, they have like 30 win and 40 games, they have already 90 points, and the team and the same division has maybe only 20 points. So I believe after 50-60% of the calendar, everybody is already split each other. That's my only concern about 3-0, 2-0, or 1-0, because what happening at that moment, like the sale will be done already like after 60%. Yeah. In February, you already know who's going to be in the playoff. So the last 3 months of the year, other effect who finished second, third, second, first, two. Yeah, nothing else, in my opinion.
I don't know why why wouldn't we want parity? Like, even if it's manufactured in the way that ENORTAP is describing, that's fine with me. Like, you know, for anybody who was a Habs fan last year, when you knew you were out of the playoffs in November, that's not good for the game, right? So you want that to happen to the least amount of teams as possible. So say what you want about Bettman, but he's created, I think, I'm surprised nobody's brought up the idea of having play-in rounds like we did in the bubble to create even more excitement. You know,
I don't mind play-in rounds. I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody brought it up. Maybe they have in the chat. We just haven't gotten to it.
I haven't seen it, but I think when it was expanded, and you look back, like, hey, look, Chicago knocks off Edmonton, or there was upsets, and I thought that was actually really interesting.
Yeah. I have a question here. Shrink down the goalie equipment.
This is constantly being done. Like, they're constantly controlling what the goalies can and cannot wear. The goalies are just great now, but you know,
you don't buy into that image though of after the final against Price and standing in front of Vasilevsky, and Price looked like this like little wimp kid next to Vasilevsky, and like they have pretty much the same dimensions as human beings, but he looked like a transformer in front of Carey Price.
Well, I mean, the reality is, people are trying to draft 6'5", 6'7", 6'8" goalies.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what you're talking to. Like, Carey Price came before that era, so it's unfortunate.
No, but
we have a very good goalie.
Vasilevsky and Price are pretty much the same size, but Vasilevsky's equipment, I think, might be a little bit oversized.
Like, one guy's 6'3" and one guy is maybe 6 foot. How big is Carey Price?
6'3".
No.
Yeah, 6'2" or 6'3". Coach, yeah, like Carey Price is 6'2", 6'3". He's not 6 foot even. Yeah.
Is he that big?
Yeah, they're not the same. Like, they're not far off. But when you see the picture of them side by
never would have
side,
thought he was a 6'3" goalie. I always thought he was kind of 6 foot, 6'1".
I know.
No.
He's 6'3".
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so when you see, it's kind of like if you put Patrick Waugh in like 86 next to Carey Price 2022, that's what it looked like. Yeah, the immediate thing I thought of was Garth Snow with those like insane shoulder pads that he used to wear, right?
It's like, it's crazy. Yeah. I don't know. The guys are constantly under scrutiny. You're never going to get it perfect.
All right. Should two players penalized for 5 minutes each for fighting reduce the number of players to 4 versus 4 like he used?
That's a great idea. I like it. I like that idea.
But you can score multiple goals already on a 5-minute penalty. So.
No, but he's saying, so when like right now, if there's a fight, it's offsetting right now, so it just stays 5-on-5. So you have to take it down 4-on-4. And another idea, let's say there's a delayed call, so and a team scores, why not just still allow the penalty to happen, right? So you're about to get called for hooking, and you bring in that extra player and you score a goal. They should still be a power play, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, going to 4-on-4 would definitely. Let's face it, most of the goals are already being scored on power play, though. Like, it's really tough to score 5-on-5. So it just depends on what you care about. I thought last year offensively was maybe one of the best years in the history of the NHL. Like, I don't think I ever saw the level of talent and the ability to operate in tight situations and the ability to execute. Like, the skill level, the speed, and the ability to execute a game plan and tactics. I mean, we're at an incredible point. I don't know.
We're lucky, man.
I don't know if we have to make like these drastic moves, but there was a lot of goals scored last year.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Renaud, if a goalie helmet fall off more once a game,
I don't know. Does this happen a lot?
Not a lot, but
they have a new system, Michael, about when you get a shot on the face, the clip get out, and then the referee whistle right away after that. And That's the reason why he talk about this. And last year, Jake Allen, he purposely take off his helmet, like, and then he moved out of the net. He got a 2 minute for that one over there.
Yep.
So that's his game because of that kind of new system. You got a lot of whistle because of that last season in his shot. Now, is it protect the goaltender? Good or bad? I don't know, but that's what happened about this one over there. Had abuse by the helmet, like I said, have Renault about this one. Farrell Amos said the game is getting too fast. Bring back the neutral zone trap, two-line pass, roll, and outlaw. Compose success. The game is in the right direction.
Where's Danny when we need to ban somebody?
No, I think that one was kind of tongue in cheek. That was a nice one.
So what it would happen if you bring the red line? What would be the biggest problem?
If you remove the red line?
No, he want to have the red line back. Outside.
I think he was joking, though. I think he was joking. I don't think he's serious.
But what would happen? I think you would have face-off, like crazy number of face-offs, wouldn't you?
Well, the game would be longer because now you have a two pass right there. First of all, secondly, the game would be slower because now the player have to wait.
Slower. And that ruined the game. It was so slow with that.
And then you have some players going to be destroyed. Some player would be destroyed at the red line because they don't move their feet. It would be wait for the puck, and now the guy that kept control is going to
small areas.
Yeah,
right. Like you have 2 points on the ice where everybody has to tag up. Like it ruined the game. It opened it up so much. It was one of the better changes. I mean, it's been like what 35 years now, 30 years.
Yep,
it's been a while. It was a huge
30 years.
It's been at least that. I think so.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Luciano Graziano said, should penalty be a full 2 minutes even if the team is on power play score?
I like it. Didn't they have something like that, but then the Oilers just went insane and they changed the rule?
They killed everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, they totally killed everybody.
I think for me it would be something like a maximum. I don't know the number.
You can't score more than 10 goals.
It's because, again, the team with offensive, they would take advantage all the time. And I think there'll be, again, another way. So I don't know, 2 goals or something like that on power play.
Like per power play. Even a 5-minuter?
I'm sorry?
Even for 5, like a 5-minute major? Yeah.
Something, again, I'm not, at the good with the shot clock, hockey is all about the shot. They would be turned into basketball top. Oh, the Kelly, we talk about the 3 versus 3. The shot clock, it was about 3 versus 3, Kelly. Because what happening, many teams now, they play, we call this like a NASCAR. They turn around, they wait for the right opportunity to go down about this, Kelly. So, or you can, I don't know how, but example, you have time to go inside the blue line. Maybe not shot. I don't know. We're just talking that way. It's not like you have to do it. But I think for me, it takes too long time to do that.
How about like you're not allowed to go into your own zone more than once on a shift, or you have to change?
The chance would be always on the fly.
You should just play bubble hockey.
And if you change, that's you have to move the puck, or again, a player maybe cannot keep the puck for 8 months because he's not going to risk. It would be too risky. But we install us like in hockey as a coach. I call it the 8 rules, or the 8 rules said when we go to power play, when we install inside the blue line, right? So you have an umbrella and overload. You have to shoot a puck in 8 seconds. If you don't shoot a puck in 8 seconds, you're not going to score. You have to move that puck quick. So the reason we do this at 14, 16 is to make them thinking quicker, faster, and to have a better vision. Because now if they wait and then they take, but now you have no play. So we want the player act quicker. So we use that 8 seconds. And the players come back to the bench and say, look, whenever it's shot in 8 seconds, they will talk each other. So that will remind them when they go back on power play, they have to think about, hey, we have to move the puck and get that opportunity. So, of course, in a hockey professional, it's not that way. But young is a way to teaching them. Yes, that's it. We talked about this behind the band, that line over there a little bit earlier about this one over there. Sorry, guys.
So I looked this up, guys. I mean, and I'm wrong. It was actually 2005 it was removed.
Yeah, you were like, you freaked me out, man. I didn't think 35 years. I was like,
no,
I got a stroke
I don't know why
or something.
I thought it was in the 90s, but it's 2005.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
God, we're like Dinosaur League. What the hell? We should have done this like 20 years before that.
At least they didn't allow for like back passes, right? In the early on, like you couldn't do back passes. You always had to move the puck forward.
I think we just bring back the rover. 6-on-6.
My point one he said is by purpose. It's going to be exactly when it's a gray scale in hockey. Is it a good goal? Is it a bad goal? Why is this tonight is a good goal? The next night. So when you're going to see a purpose, a slow foot, is it purpose? It's not. And when someone broke his arm in the corner, he got hit. Is it a purpose or it's not? So it's going to be right now too many. And imagine the guy out for 1 year. So and this is the best player in NHL. Nathan McKinnon last year. That's a good example right there. Imagine the player got this. I think it was McDavid. Who he was when he did a slow foot in front of the bench. It was a good players.
Yeah, it was McDavid.
Imagine McDavid broke his arm right. He broke his foot. He's out for 6 months. So McKinnon now is out of the game. Did he did for purpose? Do you believe he did that? He never had no suspension in hockey.
Yeah. You'll have you'll have like a roster of 80 players. There's no way to make this work properly.
I think there's like a good balance between player safety, but still protecting the integrity and the product, because it's an entertainment product, right? So these players know that there's risk, and they're well, kind of compensated. So I think you can still do a lot more for player safety, but yeah, that's a little extreme.
What is it from behind? What do you do when the players turn at the last second and they're hitting? The player cannot just stop, look at the hit downs, and that's sad, because there's always, as a referee, say, okay, did he see the number? Can he turn at the last? Because they are so smart, they turn their back all the way between that. I always said how many stride the player does. If he did 2 stride and plus, that's really now he wanted a purpose behind to hit the players right there. So you have to always be careful about that one over there. But it was always happening run obviously on that one over there. So
also, if you see somebody's hitting somebody in the small of the back with their stick, that's an automatic. It doesn't matter if the player turns around. Like, you should never use your stick like that close to the boards, like in a pushing motion. Those are one of the worst ones.
Squeezy, welcome aboard. Thanks for being with us. He said, who has a better career, Price or Roy?
Not even close.
Yeah,
that's not close.
Goalie equipment back in my day was 60 pounds. That's what that is now 10 pounds about this one over there.
It's big. It's light.
We should put the goalie equipment less heavy. Yep. Question, party is great idea. Parity is a great idea, but how it is parity is no one country or state has a low tax, one other have a high tax. There are no parity. Canada versus USA, it's not fair. Many players don't want to play.
I think that's a bit over-reported. I think there's some agents that, I think it was Alan Walsh that was talking about it. Like, they find ways, even Canadian players, they find ways to kind of make that work. Like, you can move around money. It's still not as good, obviously, as tax-free, but it's not as bad of a disadvantage. But I think it would be interesting.
The opposite. I think people are saying they don't want to play in Canada, especially after all the restrictions. And the
not because of taxes, though. Yeah.
Oh, well, when the dollar was closer to parity, it's been okay. But I think generally, I mean, you're not getting the best free agents. You're definitely not getting the best free agents going to Canadian teams, and Canadian teams don't win a cup for a reason.
It's hard to argue with that with the record, but I think the tax thing is a little bit overreported. I think there are mechanisms that their accountants can use to kind of move things around.
It's all personal income.
I'm not a tax expert, but yeah.
Yeah. Strazik said, how about the standing playoff based on the last 20 games of the regular season? Team make the playoff based on the full season record. But same those team based on the end of the season reduce the coasting.
I don't know. I thought we had a pretty good race at the end of this year. Like the year before was better with the. I do like the play-in idea.
Yeah.
They should do it if the too many teams should be at the goalie. I think Friday 5 versus 5 because if I think Friday say 5 versus 5 because Gretzky will tell player to take match penalties so he could have more ice with the fall. I could see McDermott Matthews take advantage of that. Question: regular season hockey, a playoff sound like a different sport to my eyes. Do you agree? This is a problem.
Again, this is something that you hear a lot. But I remember, I think it was right in the first round, there was somebody that came out with some numbers, and they looked at the amount of penalties called, and it wasn't that big of a difference. So I think in previous years that might have been the case, but I think they have been trying to keep the level of like the style of play similar. But it is kind of like a trope, or it's kind of like a misconception, something that people always say, but it's definitely getting better.
I don't know what it was about this year, but I feel like this was a really unusual playoff. How many blowout games we see? Like, you never see blowout games like 7, 8 goals. Like, I think there was a lot of calls. Like, they were not reluctant to call penalties. They weren't reluctant to suspend, a Matthews. Like, I feel like that they did make it more like regular season, but then it also morphed into something else. Like, it was, I don't know, like you would never, if you're a coach, you would never let that happen. You would always tamp it down. It seemed like the opposite. Something swung this year.
You're absolutely right about that, Michael, about you have a lot of penalty the first round, second. The first 2 rounds was a lot of penalties. Now, that comes to the next question for Jeffrey Corey. Welcome aboard. How does the league achieve consistent referee, particularly in the playoff?
Robots.
Yeah, and also simplify the rules too. Like, take less subjectivity about it. Just try to make it simpler. It's so
I don't know it would be a robot, but I would say to you, I think you should have someone outside the ice, and then call those kind of penalty. And call it whatever it is, and then if the red line open up at this corner, that's because the home team is coming penalty and blah 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 like that. I think that would be helping the referee on the ice when they don't see something or whatever it is. So
see, we have these weird rules where the linesman can't tell them certain things. The referee has to ask the linesman. Like, some of these things are really bizarre. It's like you're embedding bad communication into it. So I think that's a bit of a problem. And I think someone said, hey, should we add more refs? It's like, no, but if you have a guy that's in the box telling them what's going on, maybe that's not, I realize going back to Toronto, and that makes it less subjective. That's kind of the idea, right? By going to a war room. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to experiment with putting a ref up in the sky.
Bobby asked, what do you think about it? At least one more referee per game? Do you think it would make more game longer, or he will be game faster?
There's barely room for them out there already. They got 4 of them.
Yeah.
I don't see him in the ice. I see him out. I don't know it would be longer, faster, but I think you have better call overall.
Think about it. We have one team with 5 players, another team with 5 players, and we got 4 refs.
If you see a game live, you have a better understanding of like the ice might look big when you see it on TV from that far up, but there's not a lot of room out there, man. It's pretty insane when you really think about it. The plays that they can make in these tight spaces, it's incredible. Adding other bodies. Yeah.
Look like I have no question anymore.
Okay,
so
let's go.
We go all the way to the quiz of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dive in all the way there. Be ready tonight. It's going to be really interesting tonight. I don't say that a lot of time, but I think that's what we going happening tonight. So let's see what we have. Let me pick up my stuff and set up this one over there. Welcome, Mr. King of Gamer. Thanks to be with us tonight, Mr. King. And Michael Marco, and we want to congratulate the winner last night, Mr. ENORTAP. He was the winner of the contest last night. Congratulations about this. And it's funny because Michael was supposed to get Andy Sutton tonight, and I was starting to make a question for him, but obviously it did not come. So the first question is going to be after for us, Andy Sutton. Oh my God! Question number 1. That's a new one. Here we go. Andy Sutton played 13 years in the NHL. How many seasons he has in the plus minus categories with a plus?
Oh my God.
2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, 5 seasons, or 6 seasons?
Oh man, but he was I don't know how you would.
Did he play with Atlanta?
Yes.
He played, I thought, Atlanta and Nashville.
7th friend team.
Wow.
Nicolas, thank you. Ron, thank you. Bobby, thank you. Yann, thank you. Blackhawks, thank you.
So,
Steve, thank you. Luc Lafortune, welcome back in the house. Lucky, thank you, be with us tonight. Rudolph, thank you. King of Gamer, thank you. Mr. Nortap, thank you. And Mr. Marco.
Yikes. I'm gonna go middle of the road on this one. I think it's either B or C. I'll go B because I don't know. B.
All right.
Using my luck. D, it says on my finger.
You go with D. All right.
So I guess that's about 5.
The answer of this one, ladies and gentlemen, is C. Congratulations to Blackhawks, ENORTAP, Kelly, 007, Pierre Martin, Danny, and Kelly, and Nooner are the winner of this first question of the day. Thanks so much about this one. Oh my God! Question number 2. Carolina had 88% in power on PK last season. Where they are in the NHL history for the best PK in one season. 32 overall, 14, 27, 10, or 7 in the NHL history when they finished number 1 with 88 PK percentage. Good luck, everybody.
Thanks.
Yikes.
RJ, I got you. Nicola, King of Gamer. Bobby, Yann, Stupidaso. Welcome back in the house to 1 Week Kings, Blackhawks, Steve G. Rudolph, I got you.
What were the odds?
Breaking news, Jonathan Huberdeau signed an 8 years contract at $84 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. ENORTAP must be just absolutely devastated.
Wow. Luc Lafortune, Vinny, Kelly, Luc Graziano, Pierre Martin, Jose, Danny.
Wow. What?
Michael,
God.
Nooner, I got you.
Way to throw a curveball though in the middle of the quiz there, Coach.
So, oh, sorry, what were we doing?
What your answer? ENORTAP.
C D. I have no idea.
Stressik.
How would you even know this? I guess I'm guessing.
Like most of people do.
17 C.
C.
I don't know.
Marco.
88 seems pretty high, so it shouldn't have happened that much. So I'll go D, 10th.
Marco with 10. Oh my God! But he needed it. The answer is 10. And Blackhawks 97 take the lead at 2. And Luciano run with Kings. And Marco score at 1. And that's what we had at that moment. Conversation about this one over there. Let's move on to question number 3 of the night. Here we go. Now we go with penalties tonight now. You have to be a ref. When there has too many men on the ice, the team has to select a player from the ice. Which league this apply? NHL, IIHF, USA Hockey, the Olympics, or Doug Wilson does not exist on this question.
Doug Wilson.
Is this for Norris Trophy?
Whoops, sorry about that. The Doug Wilson step here.
I'm thinking Doug Wilson.
Yeah.
So what was it?
So which leagues you have to choose a player that was on the ice?
For some reason, does not show back. That's crazy.
Wait, what? All right. So in other words, when there's too many men on the ice, what?
Yeah, hold on. I will give it again. We do it again because it's coming.
The ice.
For some reason, did not want to show me to me. I don't know why. That's the first time happened.
Can you put whoever you want in the NHL?
Here we go. When you have too many men on the ice, the team has to select a player from the ice. Which league apply this? NHL, IIHF, USA Hockey, or the Olympics? Let's start over. We're going to get this from the people on the crowd. Everything like that. Ron with King said C. Jose said A. Steve, Danny, Rudolph, Bobby. Jan, King, Vinny, Stu, Nooner. Now Danny change. ENORTAP, Kelly, Pierre Martin. King of Gamer, Blackhawks. Run with Kings. I got it. Nooner, I got it. And Steve's go with Doug Wilson. Here we go. We get all the through of that one there. I don't know what's happening, but it is happening. And let's go with Marco.
So isn't IHF the same? Like, isn't an Olympic event the same as IHF? Like, isn't that? So
yeah, but the rule are maybe not the same.
Okay.
Because the rule with the World Junior Championship or the World Junior, it's not the same.
Okay, I don't know if I buy that. I think you're bluffing. I'm gonna say USA Hockey.
All right. And Michael.
I mean, it's not NHL because they can pick whoever. I don't know. I'll say C. USA Hockey makes sense to me. I don't know. I bet you it's IHF. They're
remember, guys, when I shift everything, I show the letter D. Many of them think the answer is, but honestly, the answer is not D. It's C.
Doug. Oh, good.
So the answer is C, and Blackhawks take the lead at 3. Nooner is at 2. Ron with King at 2. Marco is at 2, and Michael Delevano with Bob Bobby got 1 point at that moment. Congratulations about that one over there.
It's not my name.
Blackhawks 3-3, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the last question, guys, we take a time. All right? We'll go take a time because you have to understand what I'm going to try to explain to you. So don't give me an answer yet. Team A are short-handed. The next play, both teams have a penalty for 2 minutes. Both of them. What is the situation on the ice after that? 5 versus 5, 5 versus 4, 4 versus 3, or 4 versus 4. If Team A is short-handed, the next play, both teams have a penalty for 2 minutes. What is the situation on the ice? 5-5, 5-4, 4-3, or 4-4? Here we go. Danny, I got you. RJ, Jose, Vinny, I got you.
Am I missing something?
Steve, I got you. Pierre Change. Yan, I got you. Bobby, I got you. Nicola, I got you. Blackhawks, I got you. King of Gamer, I got you. ENORTAP, I got you. And Mr. Michael DeVillano.
Unless I'm missing something, it's B.
Which one?
I believe B.
B like a boy?
Yeah, B.
Okay, thank
4.
you. All right, Marco.
Doug Wilson.
Doug Wilson's the better answer.
Yeah.
It's definitely not 4-on-4. It's definitely not 5-on-5.
I think, well, no, I think, so it would be 5-on-4 because Team A is on a power play, and then offsetting penalties. So normally that would be 4-on-4. So wouldn't it be C 4-on-3?
4-on-3. All right. The answer, guys, is my God, B 5-and-4, and Blackhawks still at 3. Mueller reach Blackhawks. Kelly, Danny, Run with Kings, Luciano, Marco, Michael DeVillano are all at 2-2. And Rudolph, King of Gamer, Nicolas de Gobi Bono, ENORTAP score 1 goal. What happening on that one, guys, is we have a call for team is already short-handed, 5 versus 4. And the next penalty, both at the same time, is eliminate. And they have nobody get 2 minutes. So they stay at 5 versus 4. That's the reason behind that one over there. So you don't go 4 versus 3. Make sense?
Good to know.
Here we go. The last one, guys, take a time. Let me explain because it's a long way, you know. Here we go. Team A have a penalty at 3 minutes. Team B have a penalty at 3:15. Team A have another penalty at 3:30. Team B have an 8-second later get a penalty. Then at 4 minutes, Team A have a penalty. But we have a goal. We have a goal at 4:32. By the Team B. So what is the decision?
This is bad.
All right.
If a train leaves Chicago at 4 p.m., it's like an AST question.
Jesus. Okay. Team A is 3. I think I've been in this situation, though. That's the funny thing.
I will just change something here to be sure you got it. The Team B score at 4:32. What is the decision? 5-4, 4-4, 4-3, 5-5, 3-3 after the goal.
So wait, Team B scored at 4:32, right? So then the first, and these are what, 2? I'm assuming these are all 2-minute penalties. So it starts off 5-on-4, and that's 4-on-4.
Ron, I got you. Nicolas, c'est un peu complexe. RJ, I got you. Luciano, I got you. Blackhawks, I got you. Yan, I got you.
It goes to 4-on-3.
Yan, I got you.
Extra. Oh my God, this is horrible. She can't have less than 3, so it's like.
ENORTAP, I got you.
I need to write this down. This is crazy. It's crazy. So basically, we go 5-on-4. We go 4-on-4.
Vinny, I got you. Pierre Martin, I got you. Nicolas, I got you. Bobby, I got you. Danny, I got you. Steve G, I got you. Stu, I got you.
Ooh, that can't be right.
Marco. Nola, I got you. Rudolph, I got you.
I'm going to see B 4-on-4.
B 4-on-4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which one? The 2 minutes in would have been. Yeah, but there's still a penalty. So the.
Luc Lafortune, I got you.
That would have been 5. That can't be right.
So this should be the last time that we ever criticize referees because they have to do all this math like on the fly.
It's brutal, yeah. I just honestly never pay attention to the rules. I just say.
So what is your answer, Michael?
How many guys? I always ask them. I'm just like,
Michael, your answer?
I don't care. C 4-on-3, but I don't think that's right. I think
C
it's
4-and-3.
Yeah, we're gonna say that. Let me look at this. The time expires.
We have a lot of things happening right now. The answer, guy, is 3-and-3 at the end of this one over there. Blackhawks win, Kelly win, Danny win, Nona win, Luciano Graziano win, ENORTAP win tonight. All the 6 winners of the contest tonight with 3 good answers on 5. The reason why, guys, because the team A have the 3 players and the team B have the 2 players, and you have a goal.
Right.
One of team A get out, right? But we still at 3 versus 3. All right, 3 minutes. 3:15. After 3:15, it's 4 versus 4. Follow me. Right. 3:30 is 4 versus 3 for team B. At 3:38, we have 3 versus 3. The team A 4 minutes does not count anyway until something happening. We have a goal. Honestly, nothing changed. We're still at 3 versus 3. It makes sense.
Thanks for the public math.
The first guy comes out of the box,
coach.
Yeah. So that's happening about this one. So that's what happened. We have a 6th winner tonight. Congratulations, everybody. We want to thank Michael DiVillano and, of course, Marco for your participation tonight. It was fun. Talk about rules. Maybe it's fun about this one over there, but we have a good time anyway. And we thank everybody in the chat to be part of the show. But before we leave, we want to remind everybody, you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Congratulations, everybody, for your participation tonight. We want to thank Marco and Mr. Michael. But before we leave, we want to remind everybody, be well, be healthy, and we not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half of what? 2022. We love you, people. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Thank you, Michael and Marco, tonight. See you next time.
Night, everyone.
Andy replied here.
Have a good night, Zenit, Nicolas, ENORTAP, RJ, Bobby, Steve G, Stu Pidasso, Luc Lafortune, Run with Kings, Vinny 007, Pierre Martin, Nooner, Danny, Kelly, Blackhawks, Luciano Graziano, Run with Kings, Bobby Bagadonuts, Alexis Dubois, Rudolph, Renaud, Pixel back in the house. Look, your consistency is great. You're welcome, King of Gamer. Thanks so much to be a part of the us tonight. King of Gamer, I forgot. Too good answer tonight. Have a good night, Kelly. Thank you, Zenith. Thank you, Kelly.
Just finish what you started. Don't like the feeling that I've been fooled, deceived, and so misguided. Oh, oh, oh. What do I know? What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know what's going on now. Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a show. What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know what's going on now. Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a show.
Oh, 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 oh. Booyah!